Hey guys, what's up? We're gonna do a tag tonight, and it is the Get to Know Me Childhood Q&A. I saw Brandi do this on her channel, and I thought it was kind of cool, so I'm gonna do it on this channel. So you can check out her link down below. She's kind of cool. I just found her channel, and I really like her. I think she's kind of awesome. So go check her out, give her some love. I am going to also leave the questions in the description bar down below. If you guys decide to do the tag me, let me know somehow, some way, so I can come check it out and see what you're doing. And we're just gonna jump right into the question. Question 1, what decade were you born in? I was born in the 70s, but like late 70s, so we'll say more 80s. What do you remember most about your childhood? I'm gonna say playing in our courts. We had like this little like horseshoe court, and we had, behind our house was a baseball / soccer field. We used to play baseball out back. There were a lot of kids. We lived on a military base, so there were a lot of kids. We used to play tag, and I don't even remember what they were all called. We played like all the like kid stuff, like Red Rover. We used to have running races around the neighborhoods. We did like all that kind of stuff. It was kind of cool. Who is your favorite childhood band or singer? So growing up, there were like 3 that like stick in my head for the 80s. So there was Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, and New Kids on the Block. What? Sing a verse of a song that 100% reminds you of your childhood, and why that song. I'm gonna have to say Tiffany. I think we're alone now. Doesn't need to be anyone around. I think we're alone now. The beating of our hearts is the only sound. Okay, I'm gonna say that song because me and 2 of my girlfriends, Tasuna and Jennifer, we used to dance, and we would make up like dance routines, and we would do splits and back bends. I can still do a back bend. What? Somersaults. We used to do all that kind of stuff, and we would like choreograph our dances, and it was just kind of cool. So that was one of the songs that we did. And like I did, I think we're alone now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, next question. What was your favorite childhood movie that wasn't Disney? Okay, I talked about this in my last weekly wind-up, but there's a movie called Don't Go to Sleep, and it was a scary movie. It was kind of freaky, and I remember asking my mom, I was like, can we watch the movie called Burning Bed? And my mom was trying to go to, I think it was like a Farrah Fawcett movie. I think it was about her life and domestic violence. And my mom's like, you want to watch that? I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, no. And my mom realized, like, oh, you're talking about the Don't Go to Sleep. And I'm like, that's it. Because the bed caught on fire, so that's why I was thinking Burning Bed. I was trying to tell her like the movie where the bed burned up, but she thought I was talking about something else. So that movie. I had a messed up childhood. And then of course, oh, I'm gonna say this too, I'm gonna throw these in. Grease, the movie Grease and Dirty Dancing. Those were like on repeat all the time because of me in the 80s. Who was your favorite childhood cartoon character? Oh, I'm gonna say Garfield. And I'm gonna say that because I used to watch Garfield on TV, and then on top of that, the comics that used to come through. And we had an Apple IIgs computer, and we had this program on this like floppy disk, and it was Garfield, and you could make your own comics with it, so it was kind of like my thing. Who was your first childhood celebrity crush? Oh, I thought I was gonna say my first childhood crush. His name was Ricky. He had cats. He gave me a cat. Anyway, who was your first childhood celebrity crush? I am going to say Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block. I think he was the first one. Then I liked him. Then I moved to his brother John. I liked Joey for a little bit, but everybody liked Joey. I did not like Danny because he was ugly. Donnie was okay, but I'm gonna say Jordan was the first one. What was your favorite childhood snack? I mean, I'm gonna go with the cheese dip that I used to make with my mom. It was a little spicy, and I used to sit there with her, and she would have, I still don't know what cheese she used, but she would have milk, and then she would like chop up these like spicy peppers to go in it. But she would have milk and she would shred the cheese, and then I would sit on the countertop and I would drop some of the cheese in a little bit at a time and mix it in the milk, and so that it would melt, and I like helped make it, and that was kind of like my thing. What was your favorite childhood clothing brand? We were military kids and we didn't do name brand stuff. I remember Guess was like really popular, but I didn't have anything Guess. So, hey babe, yeah. Come here. Come here. Okay, this is really freaky. I'm talking about my mom and a black cat just popped up. Okay, I'm back. I just walked away for a minute because I'm a little freaked out. So I was just talking about my first crush, which had nothing to actually do with the questions that were being asked. So I mentioned my first crush and he gave me a cat. So he gave me a cat, and then that cat got pregnant and I had a fully black cat. It was fully black, a fully black kitten. And I named him WC, and I don't know, there's just like, there's some weird connection. But anyway, anytime I see, so my mom passed away, anytime I see a black cat, all black, it has to be all black, it reminds me of my mom, and they pop up like very like weirdly and randomly, and all of a sudden I'm talking to you guys, and I tried to get video, but the video was really awful. But all of a sudden it came around the corner and it looked like a panther or something. I'm like, whoa, it was a big fat black cat. Fully black, so it was almost like my mom just like showed up all of a sudden weirdly, and just so weird that I was just talking about the cats. And when I was thinking about the boy who gave me the kitten, my first thought goes to WC, my black cat. So that was just really weird and funky, and it freaked me out. So yeah, that's what happened. Okay, I don't remember what we were talking about. I think we were talking about clothing and the fact that we were poor kids and we didn't have anything name brand. But I remember that Guess was popular, but I didn't have anything Guess, so I wasn't one of the cool kids. I sucked. Okay, what was one thing you had in your decade that you wish you had now? What was one thing you had in your decade you wish you had now? I don't know. That's a I kind of miss like how nice people were. Like back in the 80s, like things were different, right? Like you went to the store, there were Christmas decorations up, you drove somewhere, somebody let you in front of them, you'd like wave, like the person would wave and be like, thank you for letting me over. People don't do that anymore. And then playing outside, like kids don't really do that anymore. Like, I mean, we made up plays, and I mean, like I was saying earlier, we used to play music and we made up dance moves to it, and like that was like the big portion of our day. So like I miss all that kind of stuff. What was your favorite childhood video game? So we had, Nintendo was like a big thing back then, so regular Nintendo, like Super Mario Brothers or Knockout, Mike Tyson's Knockout, that was like a big thing. Contra, all those like classics. So those were, but Mario Brothers. There's nothing better than Mario Brothers. What was the one thing you cherished from your decade? So the one thing I cherished from the decade is gonna have to be spending time with my mom outside in the front yard. Just talking, just sitting on a chair, and just talking to her about everything. How old were you when you got your first cell phone? 18, and I was the shit because most people didn't have cell phones back then. So that would have been like 96. In 1996 is the first time I had a cell phone, when most people did not have cell phones at all. Which did you use more, AIM or MSN? Oh my god. So I didn't really have internet because internet was just like becoming a thing as I became a teenager. When I was little, we didn't have AIM or MSN. We had our Apple IIgs computer, but you had like the floppy disks and the hard disks, and it was really more like word processor type stuff. It wasn't really internet stuff, if that makes sense. If there was one thing that you could change from your childhood, what would it be? Probably my mom and dad arguing. That's what comes to mind. Yeah, not a great childhood experience. Or maybe this is dark, but maybe not seeing my mom have epileptic seizures. That was pretty traumatic even now. All right, so that's my tag, and we saw my mom tonight. All right guys, I guess I'm gonna end this here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.